So footage has come out from the Indiana Fever practice, and Kelly Krauskopf had to speak to the media. Kelly Krauskopf had to speak to the media, and she is talking about talking about getting players in on a hardship contract. And one thing they can do is, if she's talking about it, I would assume, hopefully they either know they can get one, or that they're talking about they're talking about it to try put pressure on the WNBA, because the WNBA have, as far as I'm aware, give permission for an emergency hardship. But as far as I'm aware, Sophie Cunningham and Sid Colson have to be officially out, and as of right now, they're game time decisions. So it is a hardship contract player by the looks of things until Caitlin Clark comes back from her actual injury, because you can't, when a player is not officially injured, I don't think you can bring in a hardship contract. And as of right now, you just don't know what is happening. But anyway, this was 27 minutes ago when Chloe Peterson posted this. Yeah, 27 minutes. So let's see what Kelly Krauskopf has had to say.
We're down in numbers, but we're looking at adding another player for a replacement player to help us with our numbers and try to get people healthy and try to get a full roster back together. I mean, games are still coming, so it's going to be an adjustment, but we have a good group, we have good depth, thankfully, so that should help us.
Yeah. Are you hoping to have that player before?
Did she just say good depth? Did she just say good depth? As of right now, there are 7 healthy players, and you don't play 2 of them. As of right now, whoever comes in a hardship is going to start. I repeat, oh, no, they're not. They're going to play 5. I was about to say they're going to start. No, they're going to start Bonner, Hull. They're going to start Kelsey Mitchell to the point. Whoever is in should start. Not is going to, but should start. Because, let's be real, Kelsey Mitchell, a point guard, is not going to work out well.
Tuesday's game?
We're hoping, yeah.
All right.
Have you ever been through any circumstance this early into the season and such, where you're battling 3-4 down? How unique is it?
I remember. I don't, probably, but I mean, because, the WNBA, the roster sizes are so much smaller. So when you get down to the 11-player roster and you lose 3 players like that, now you've got to add.
I mean, it is not ideal. And when she's talking about losing 3 players, I don't know who she's talking about, because Damiris Dantas is not practicing, but Colson is. It looks like Damiris Dantas is injured as well. And it just does not look great. It does not look great. And I would assume maybe is Dantas one of their 3 players. And if again, I don't think they're going to be able to get a player to replace Colson, because it looks like Sid Colson's fine. Thankfully, it looks like Colson's fine. I can't believe that is a sentence that's come out of my mouth, that thankfully Sid Colson's fine, because we're going to need 30 minutes out of her. It looks like she's fine. Because if she had any actual knee damage, she's not going to be doing what she was doing in practice. However, it's getting bad.
A quick player to the roster, so it's something that you just deal with being in this league, with the roster sizes being a little bit smaller, and that's why you try to build for depth.
Is this maybe another perfect example of where the WNBA could get to, where they had, the NBA has 2 ways, but maybe home player development roles, and they could be available in times like this? Would that be ideal?
I mean, just more bodies would be good.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is what she has said. Kennedy Carter, you're a fever. I would love if they brought Kennedy Carter, because if they want to win this game, the only player that I think that they could bring in that could win the game is Kennedy Carter. If I'm being honest, the only way I think they win this game is if they bring in Kennedy Carter. And Serena Sundell's not good enough. Anyone who's saying Serena Sundell, and by the way, I was so high on her pre-draft. If this was an NBA scenario where this was a young team, if this was last year, I'd be fine with them signing Serena Sundell. Because last year it was clear, 6 seed, they were trying to make the playoffs. They, to an extent, overperformed at times. They were a dangerous team in the playoffs. This season, it is championship or bust. They're old. And there's no point bringing in a developmental player. And you might be saying, keep her, get her for next year. It's then you can get her in the summer. If you really want Serena Sundell, get her in the summer. This is not, as of, this moment right now is probably not the time to get her. Unless it isn't Stephanie White.
You when you're thinking about a potential hardship player, are you valuing someone like knows the system, has been here, or is it maybe best player available at that position?
I think best player available at that position who can add value on both ends of the floor. Certainly we need to have someone who can add value on the defensive end. We got to have somebody who can help us navigate and get into offense, handle the ball.
Yeah, they're not. If they sign Bree Hall or Jaylen Brown, I am putting on my Lynx jersey and I'm not turning back. If they sign Bree Hall or Jaylen Brown to run point guard, I'm putting on my Lynx jersey and never turning back. That's all I'm gonna say.
Since we're down to 2 healthy guards, the goal would be to get everybody kind of back to their natural positions if we can. But at the same time, we can't control everything, so we'll get the best player that we can get that will fit into how we play.
Do you anticipate signing a hardship player before Tuesday's game?
I hope so.
Anything else?
What does simplify mean in terms of with this group? Is that more so what you're calling out there? And more read and react, or what does that mean?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more calling and structure in our offense, a little less reading.
I hate her so much as a coach. She said a little bit less. A little bit less reads. Saying players, you need more structure and players to make less reads. The only reason this team was good last year was because of a read and react offense. Like, I'm sorry, what is going on?
Kind of predetermine a little bit more, maybe giving 3 or 4 actions or sets that they can run, as opposed to giving them 6 or 7 options. So we simplify it that way. Who's on the floor with whom, and then same thing defensively. We like to get to where we can.
I hate her so much. Like a motion offense, like a freaking triangle-esque motion offense in the year 2025. Like, I understand, like, it is something that can work in basketball, but you play to your freaking personnel. You play to your personnel. You play to a team. You have a team that is you've got 2 unbelievably smart players, 1 unbelievably smart cutter in Kelsey Mitchell, and you're trying to run a equal opportunities motion offense. But, yeah, it is a tough one. It is a tough one here. Like, I understand she's not in a good situation. I just don't think she's a very good basketball coach. I don't understand why you're like, you see the success of this team and you're like, I want to get rid of everything. I want to get rid of absolutely everything that made this team good last year. Made this team fun.
Cover different players different ways, but we're going to have some players playing out of position, so we got to simplify it and just get really good at 1 or 2 things.
Yeah, the one that talked about kind of.
All you have to do if you're running players out of positions is get the ball into Aaliyah Boston's hand. You don't. She's like, we need to simplify this and stop making reads. No, you're actually, in fact, overcomplicating it. Get the ball in Aaliyah Boston's hands as much as possible, and that's it.
Just not being in a rhythm after Friday's game. What do you do with all of these injuries and potentially bringing someone in to try to get into some semblance of a rhythm?
I think the simplifying hopefully helps that. Giving them just a couple of things that we can focus on, and we continue to really rep over the last 2 days on both ends of the floor. Knowing that some players are going to be playing out of position and freeing them up to stay aggressive and just play. That's the fun, challenging part of the coaching situation is still putting them in positions to be successful while it might be a little bit outside their comfort zone.
All right, that's annoying. Like, because there is proof of her being a snake oil salesman in what she has said. Everything she says, she does the opposite. She's literally talking about how instead of giving players 6 or 7 options and all of these things, she basically is as much as said, we don't want players making reads. We're going to basically put them in a box and tell them exactly what they have to do in situations, and then we're going to simplify that. And I'm like, so you are basically trying to put players in a box and then make them do less things when they're in a box. Like, I just don't. This team doesn't function. Okay, like, I don't know why I'm getting so angry about this. To be fair, at least it's something. It sounds like something new. It's something new. Is it going to work? No. It sounds like something new. And like, it doesn't help either that Bree Turner is going to have to play freaking Dantas. Because Dantas is now is there, and then you've got 15 seconds of bricks. Good shot, Kelsey. We got a few seconds of bricks right there. Sophie's not in the facility. Did Dantas get hurt? That's not ideal. Team knows the ball's supposed to go in the basket. Like, this reminds me of the footage last year when Erica Wheeler was running around in circles. Damaris Dantas is dressed and standing over on the side. Dantas is the only who doesn't need to practice finishing. In fairness, Dantas has been okay. Like, this is the scariest part about it. And the fact is, they're saying best player available. They're just saying player. Dantas is injured too. It's freaking 7. There's 7 players. And I'm hoping they get somebody good, but who's good that's left? Who's good that's left? And if they rock up with Serena Sundell. And I hope I'm very wrong. I was incredibly wrong about Serena Sundell in the draft. I was really high on Serena Sundell. And I was very, very wrong. And I would love to be wrong this time. Whoever they sign, I hope, is 100 times better than I think. But when they were asked about best player available or someone experienced in the system, it makes it sound like they're not taking Bree Hall or Jaylen Brown, which is a positive thing because they're the furthest thing that this team needs. Furthest thing from what this team needs. But anyway, yeah. It is an interesting situation all around. But anyway, that is the video. I'll see you guys.